All right, with Weathersfield, Celestine Highway, we are right smack dab in the middle of City Hall at the Weathersfield Library, Maine. And across the drive is Silas Dean Middle School. Okay. We are here with another edition of Alma Mater. Today, William, that's me, remembers Shelly. My first major in college was education. I was an education major. And, everybody said, oh, education, it's like basket weaving. It's an easy, bachelor's. It's an easy BA, BS. It's kind of like phys ed, teacher. Like Naismith in Springfield, Professor Naismith got a degree in physical education, and, it's as bad as peach basket weaving or whatever. Anyways, and so I took a number of classes in education, and the classes in education were just as full of women as the literature classes. It was like women everywhere. In the early 80s in the education classes, as was in the literature classes, okay? There I met, in one of my education classes, a woman by the name of Shelly. Now, Shelly was different than, say, Wendy. Where Wendy was cute and classically kind of like just cute, Shelly was model type material. Wendy was small, short, yet pleasingly plump in the right places. Shelly was long, tall, willowy blonde. Okay. With a great personality, and had no problem with telling men that she would accost, and that's how I met her, because, it's like, it's like, I am not worthy, so, and I think Shelly might have had a few, guys in her high school days who were a bit trepidatious about, is that a word? Who were a bit, hesitant on going up to her and chatting with her. So she came up to me one class, and it was, what are you doing coming up to me in this class? Again, like Wendy, all I could think of is I was the talker. I believed in participation. I was never one to hold back opinions, ideas, thoughts, questions in class, At the time, education was a passion. I, like everybody else in the class, wanted to be like, oh, those great, cool high school teachers I had, So I wanted to know the most about how do I teach high school, It was secondary education classes. So, I was out there. And again, like with Wendy, this kind of impressed Shelly. So she came up to me before class and started chatting with me. And I'm like, whoa. But it didn't take too long after pleasantries before she started talking about herself and how she was a model for Kaufman's department store, which was the historically major department store in the city. And she told me how she would do fashion shows downtown and some print. Okay. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, and no doubt, you didn't have to tell me. So anyways, so I just left it at that. I let her come to me after a conversation or two before class, and it got to the point where I really wanted to avoid her, because coming out of a Catholic high school in the 1970s, I can hear in her speech a lot of the girl in Catholic high school I took to the prom. I heard, one, she's big on herself, and two, she's a virgin. So, I would smile, and I would, I didn't, ignore her or anything, but I would talk and be polite. But I knew any investment in time with this woman was going to be a waste of time. It's you're going to have to marry her, because it's like you can live your lives in some little community maybe after you get your degrees, but it's like, you ain't getting nothing until you put that ring on my finger. You could just tell. It's like, and I wasn't about to sit around, waiting for a chaste, kiss, at the doorstep, for 3 or 4 years. So I just shined it on, shall we say. And there was one class where she obviously got tired of me, and she hit on this other guy, okay? And this other guy, now mind you, I was prep, okay? I was preppy. I was more Wendy, kind of like intellectual and cool, but prep, it tastes more by prep than class, if you will, or just classic beauty kind of thing. But the next guy in the education classes that Shelly hit on was like this kind of like a trucker dude, kind of like a pickup truck guy, kind of like, hey, trucker guy, kind of au naturel, kind of, flannel shirts, in the 80s, red, of course, and, a truck, drive a truck, and, a woman's man, that kind of thing. So she hit on him, and I was really curious to see where this was going to go, because, it's like, okay, well, Greg is Greg, but what's this guy like, so they started seeing each other, and pretty soon these two were inseparable in the classes, the education classes, okay? They were Ken and Barb, okay, with a bit of twang, country twang in there, okay? You know, this is mountain man and this classy, beautiful, blonde, white, being educated woman, you know. And I was wondering if he would be the one to kind of make Shelly every woman, you know. So because I knew, no, you know, this girl's a virgin, you know, you're going to have to work if you're getting anywhere with her. So she didn't go for me, and I'm like, well, okay, good choice, girl. You know, it's like, you know, he's an education major. You know, you can tell your parents, yeah, I met him in my class, and it's like, oh, he's so great. It's just introduce it, you know, to your friends in the neighborhood. You know, it's just, you know, so, you know, oh, he's so handsome. Oh, God, I love that truck. You know, that kind of guy. So I'm waiting and to see, you know, if anything comes of this relationship between the two. And I think it lasted, I don't think it lasted through the month. Or no, through the semester. I don't think it lasted through the semester. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. I don't know. But it was a fall semester. And yeah, maybe it did last through the semester with breakup, you know, to come in the holidays kind of thing. Okay? Because the fall semester ended, and then we came back in January, I think, and I was still in the education department, you know, classes, and I got in one class early in January, and in comes Mountain Man by himself. You know, Mr. Loner Man again, that quiet, you know, brooding type, you know, girls. Comes in by himself, and there's no Shelly on his arm. Thinking, So I no longer get this thought in my head before I get a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around, and who is it? Shelly, how are ya? How were the holidays? Nice to see ya.